Okay, if you're getting out and about today, and we see that people are out moving, Cedric, because they are starting to travel through this area, and today we'll see some cloudy skies and maybe a sprinkle or two.
Yeah, I think so, Latrice. There's a slight chance of a sprinkle primarily across the eastern half of the area, but for most of us, we're just talking about some scattered clouds building on into the area. So right now here in Chattanooga, we have some of those clouds moving on through the area. Dew points are still in the 20s out there, so still very dry air, and the temperature continues to warm. So that means that we've got some distance between the temperature and the dew point, which obviously leads to very dry conditions. But as we look at the radar, there is a weak disturbance that's been moving across the area as we've gone throughout this morning. Not a lot of reports of precipitation, but there is that chance of a sprinkle or an isolated shower as this pushes on through the Blue Ridge there. So folks like Ella J over towards Blue Ridge, again, could see a sprinkle or two as this activity moves by, possibly a sprinkle over towards Murphy, but for most of us, we are going to stay on the dry side. High pressure, we're kind of sandwiched in between two areas of high pressure here, one to our west, one to the east here, and so that's why I think for the most part this system is basically falling apart as it tries to produce precipitation over the area. The more widespread rainfall is down to the south along the Gulf Coast. That's going to stay down to our south, so we're not going to be worried about that. But we are watching our next storm system, but we got to go all the way to the northwestern half of the country as you get towards the west coast, Seattle and Portland here. This is our next storm system, and it is going to be kind of a doozy of a system as it moves our way here. It's an upper level low pressure. You can kind of see that comma shape showing up here, and that's going to dive down to the south and eventually start to move to the east, and it'll start to scoop up a lot of that moisture that's kind of pooling along the Gulf Coast. So today, we're not worried about much in the way of rainfall, more clouds than sunshine, but again, not a bad day as high temperatures climb into the mid to upper 50s across the area. Tonight, we'll see our overnight lows dropping down into the lower 30s across the region with mostly clear skies, and that will set us up for plenty of sunshine as we go throughout your Wednesday. So a big travel day on your Wednesday if you got to get out and about. We're looking at lots of sunshine, temperatures in the low 60s, so it'll be mild and sunny. Enjoy it because, again, as I said, as we move towards the holiday and beyond, the weather will start to change in a big way. So high pressure, again, keeping us fairly nice as we go throughout our Wednesday, but we're going to start to see clouds on the increase as we go throughout Thursday. Of course, that's Thanksgiving Day, but notice Thursday, this is 7 o'clock in the evening. Most of the rainfall still showing up off to our west. It's going to be a wet Thanksgiving from Memphis down towards Little Rock and over towards Louisiana, but most of that should stay to our west as we go throughout Thursday. But for Friday, here comes that storm system and that big slug of moisture there producing some widespread rainfall across the area as we go into our Black Friday. So it could be a soaking of a rain event as we go throughout your Friday, maybe tapering off a little bit as we get into the afternoon hours, but plan on a wet day then. So kind of breaking it down day by day for you for Thanksgiving Day, a chilly start, but mainly dry during the day on Thanksgiving. Could see a couple of scattered showers, but that's primarily late in the evening hours, but temperatures climbing into the lower 60s before then. Now as we get towards your Black Friday, that's going to be a day where we're going to definitely have rainfall around, so you'll want to make sure that you have the umbrellas going on along with the shopping bags if you're going to be out and about, and also slightly cooler. So let's jump ahead with Futurecast. You can see that next system bringing that rainfall in. Of course, Friday, the first one moves out, but by Saturday, we start to track the second system. We may see a break Saturday morning, but more rainfall. So if you're traveling down to Atlanta on 75 or up 24 to Nashville, rain likely again going into your Saturday, hopefully tapering off by the time we get towards your Sunday out there with just a few clouds. But as far as rainfall totals go, yeah, that's going to add up in a pretty big way. We're talking about at least a couple of inches of rainfall in or near the Tennessee Valley. So that means that you're going to want to be prepared for that as we go throughout that time frame. Here's your Storm Alert 7-day forecast. A slight chance of a shower on your Tuesday. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good for Wednesday. Thanksgiving looking mainly dry, but wet weather. Heavy rainfall potential Friday into Saturday.